Woo! What's up, everyone? Woo! We are finally live. How y'all feeling today? Wait till a couple people hit the chat. How y'all doing out there? I know we about to get a little intellectual. My food just came. Got my iced tea. We about to have a good old time out here. Got it started up in here. What's going on? I know we had some fuckery going on in the, I guess you want to call it the manosphere, but we're about to do some education. Wait till a few people come in. Please announce yourself once you come in. Show some love to everyone in the chat, myself and any guests. Give you a couple of minutes to unwind, get your shoes off, relax your feet, you know, chill out. Gotta love it. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you doing? One thing I love about my subscribers, man, they come from all different walks of life and they all intellectual and good shit talkers. Excuse me. Glad y'all can make it. What we got watching so far? Because I wanted to do a show on actually a series. Are men and women equal? For the short part of it, it's going to be no. Women are better at some things, men are better at others. We're complementary. It's like this feminist ideology that says we're equal. We want to put ourselves in the same dangerous predicaments as men. You got to ask yourself why. Where do they benefit? Like, ooh, Killer Red. Gotta go to sleep in a bit. I hear that shit. Ooh, thanks for the support and the thumbs up. See, I'm a believer, like many men. We're supposed to protect women and children, keep them out of danger. What's the point? Why do you want to be a man so badly? Few articles I'll read. Thank you. I'm gonna try to keep spitting it. Keep talking the truth till the shit flows down. See, we have a problem in today's world where we use this word equality and we lie to ourselves and our children saying that we're all equal. Should we have a fair shot at things in life? Yeah. But at the same time, to ask for that is not necessarily equality, is it? This is what happens when you're the victim of the participation trophy generation. You show up, you don't show out. You believe you should get the same size trophy and the same accolades as the MVP or the champion. Your mama said you're great. You could have been a great singer, even though you sound about as flat as a 2-year-old soda. Nobody wants to hurt your feelings. You're the bubble wrap children. So this has occurred about 40 years or so. We're equal. Aqua, what's up? What's up? What's up? Woo! And for this quest of equality, we are actually going to doom people to end up getting themselves hurt. It's the equivalent of looking at that guy who never exercised a day in his life, never lifted a weight, and he sees that 315 pounds on that bar. He's trying to impress his buddies or some girl. He gets under that damn barbell. No spot, no nothing, no safety apparatus. He foolishly attempts to lift that weight and realize how heavy it is. And he ends up cracking his sternum or breaking a few ribs. Because we're supposed to be equal. Nobody's supposed to learn. Nobody's supposed to earn. We're supposed to be equal. Hey, beautiful Linda. How you doing? Woo. See, I have an issue with, not Linda, but certain women out there who thinks that we should be in combat too, but any woman who has good sense about her will be like, why would I put myself in a position of danger where I'm not capable of actually defending myself? I'm actually reading from an article called Women in Combat. Physical differences may mean uphill battle. This was printed out in 2015, December of that year. The Pentagon announced last week they would open up all positions in the military to women, including combat positions. But science and history suggest the road to combat equality may be a difficult one. And to that, I give an astounding duh. As long as they qualify and meet the standards, women will now be able to contribute to our mission in ways they couldn't before. They'll be able to drive tanks, give orders, lead infantry soldiers into combat. U.S. at the time, of course, U.S. Secretary of Defense Ashton Carter said at a news conference. And I like the quote that my chief engineer played the video of the Navy SEAL who says, all these politicians are going to put people in positions just to make an agenda. And while you're putting on that agenda, you're going to get a lot of people killed. It's no different than saying, I believe a 12-year-old should be dating an adult. No, no. Certain agendas should never cross the table. The new decision isn't a surprise. The military has already lifted a ban on women in combat, noting women in Iraq and Afghanistan were often on the front line even when not formally assigned to combat positions. Department of Defense also previously required that armed forces to define gender neutral standards for combat positions. Just to let you know, when they're talking about gender neutral combat positions, guess what? They're really talking about it's code for dumbing the system down. I'm not saying women are dumb. I'm not saying women aren't capable. But when you have something that has a biological advantage when it comes to terms of combat, I'm going to use something that nature already built. Sorry. Sorry for your damn feelings and your damn luck. And I'm wondering where I'm going to get like one of those feminists who scream, I am woman, hear me roar. I'm hoping so. Over the past 2 years, each branch of the armed forces assessed the impact of opening combat positions to women and developed plans for how to integrate women into combat roles. Only the Marines recommended keeping certain positions closed to women. The announcement means the Marines will open all their combat positions to women and make 220,000 positions across the military open to women. Politics is a bag of tricks. What's still not clear, however, is exactly what physical standards will apply for each combat position. However, it's unlikely there will be equal numbers of men and women in those combat positions. No shit, Sherlock. One expert said a large reason for that is that men still have the edge when it comes to certain physical activities. I don't know about you, but it used to be like a marvel when somebody had a fucking degree in STEM and they come out with this bullshit, like fucking obvious. Similarities and differences. The old cliche that women and men think so differently that it's as though they were from different planets, which is true. But when it comes to their brain, the difference is more akin to living nearly identical lives in a genetic suburb. A study published last week found that there is no such thing as a male or female brain, which is bullshit, by the way, because men and women do think differently. We react to stimuli differently. We react to the environment differently. Hell, we react to culture differently. But this is the reason why I tell you, my lovely, and handsome audience, always cross-reference who makes these studies. Because a lot of these people who make the studies, they usually have a hand in trying to curb the information. But rather than the brains of both sexes are mosaic and male-like and female-like features. Duh. Other studies have found that teeny average differences between men and women and cognitive abilities tend to wash out on the individual level. But in one way, the sex difference is stark. Men are physically stronger than women on average. Duh. Once again, if I have a question for everybody in the chat, please like, share, and subscribe. If you had a chance to fight somebody smaller and weaker or larger and bigger, which one would you fight? Especially if your life depends on it. I'll wait. A study in the Journal of Applied Physiology found that men had an average of 26 pounds or 12 kilograms more skeletal mass than women. Women also exhibited about 40% less upper body strength and 33% less lower body strength on average, the study found. The research found that the height and weight differences between men and women could also explain only about half of the differences in strength. Researchers reporting in 1993 in the European Journal of Applied Physiology found that men's brawn could also be attributed to a larger cross section and individual muscle fiber. Basically, the bigger you are, the bigger muscles you can produce. It's called volume and density. Duh. And a 2006 study in the same journal revealed that men had much stronger grips than women. And also, a little tidbit: the stronger your grip is, the more likely you'll live longer. Especially if you notice when there are certain bone diseases like osteoporosis that women get more than men because they have thinner bones already. Why do they fall? Because their bones give out and they don't have a strong enough grip to catch themselves or to hold on to something. So instead of having the manual strength to hold on or to catch themselves, they tend to fall and injure themselves or kill themselves. The difference was so big that 90% of the women scored lower than the 95% of men. Big shocker, huh? The team also looked at the The team also looked at the highly trained female athletes who excel at sports requiring a strong grip, such as judo or handball. Though these women did have a stronger grip compared to other women, they still performed worse than 70% of the men on this task. There's a there's a stark reason why we have a women's division in the UFC: boxing, kickboxing, judo. Like, we're just not going to play nice. Oh, jeez. Control yourself, man. We're trying to be a little bit more educational here today. So you got to understand something. When it comes to just physical combat alone, there's certain advantages men are going to just have. Think about it. They're trying to really. In October, the Marine Corps instituted a gender-neutral physical requirement, some of which were more rigorous than the previous requirements. For instance, all Marines will need to be able to scale a wall, evacuate a casualty, while other combat positions may require specific tasks such as swimming a 1.2 miles or 2,000 meters with fins, scaling a rickety ladder, according to the Marine Times. However, Even with combat positions technically open to women, don't expect an instant or long term partiality between the sexes. Like, why would you want women to do this dangerous shit? Hey, Aqua, do me a favor. Javar, my boy, what's up? Aqua, do me a favor. Could you put in the chat who holds the record for the 100-meter dash for women and the time? I believe it's what, about 10:30 something? And I know Jackie Joyner, not, let me say, I know Flojo still has the record. Not Kersey, but Flojo. I know Flojo still holds the record. I want you to put the women's who holds it and also the time of the 100-meter dash, for instance. Because physical differences will definitely tell you why you shouldn't. When you're saying to me that you're doing worse than the 90%, shit. And this is just to push this bullshit agenda. It's amazing. Oh, trust me, I have plenty of research. This might be a little bit boring for some, but you're gonna fucking learn something today. Hey, boy, what's up? Did you get the link? Thank you.
Yeah, I was here. I mean, you had to check. You always gotta keep checking your thing down at the back background. Because as I said, I'm not gonna call on the cell phone.
Yeah, I couldn't see it because the thing stretches.
Oh, okay. Yes.
But I'm also reading research. Like, think about it.
Uh-huh.
When we played the video, it actually said that the top 10% of women score where the bottom 40 of men are. They're equal to them. So you still got another 60 that are heads and shoulders clear across you.
Oh, wow. You know that.
So I know it's Flojo, but Chaos, can you do me a favor?
Yes.
Google which woman holds the record for the 100-meter dash. Excuse me.
It's a good question. Let's check.
Because I know it's Flojo. She still holds the record. And what year?
All right, hold on. Florence Griffin Joyner.
And what year did she hold? Did she gain the record?
The current men's world record is 9.58 seconds, set by Jamaica Usain Bolt in 2009, while the women's world record is 10.49 seconds, set by American Florence Griffin Joyner.
Yep.
In 1988, remains unbroken. That's roughly 32 years ago. And funny thing, that's the same year. If let me check when I think Usain Bolt was born in 86, but let me double check, make sure what year he was born.
Think about that.
Yeah, I think Usain Bolt might be born in 1998, but let me double check.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That record is about 32 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know
is she a black woman or a European woman?
Of course, it's a black woman. That's Flojo.
Okay. All right, so yeah, okay, I was right. He was born in 86. Okay. And his birthday is actually today.
Today? Happy birthday, Usain Bolt. Hey, shout out to Jamaica.
Yes, Jamaica.
So no woman, and that record was set what? In what year? What's that about?
Good question. That was back in 1988.
88. Good
Yeah.
God. And the Summer Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me 32 years ago, no woman, when we have went leaps and bounds when it comes to athletics and kinesiology and sports medicine and science and all that great shit, that record has still not been broken.
She's from America, right?
Hold on. Yeah.
Oh, so it's an American woman, black woman had the record. Oh, damn. Oh, as Charles, let me speak a little bit. What's good, everybody? How y'all doing? Are you back?
Give me 1 second. I got to take care of something real quick. Entertain the folks for a minute.
As I talk, welcome Linda Anderson. Welcome everybody. Let me check who's in the chat room. Say what's up. What's up? Let's check. I see Ed the big beefcake. Please behave yourself in the chat room, Ed. We don't want to know about how strong your right hand is because you've been whacking off too much off of Pornhub. That's not a good look, bro. It's not a good look. As y'all know, y'all come to the building. Please like the video. Share the video. We always want to know sharing is caring. It's teachable moment. This is a series, another good series by Charles Faulkner Jr. As y'all know, if y'all not subscribed to Zero Ends Reading and Articles channel, please, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to now. Let me see. Where is that? Let me see if I can find it and put it in the chat room. Let me find it. Also, as y'all know, I'm not really taking a break from my live stream on my main channel. I've been suspended for another month and a half. And I don't know. I'm thinking of a different direction what I'm going to take with the Chaos Rain channel. And I don't know what direction to take it. There's so much things that's going on here on YouTube that I can go either way with the live stream aspects, but I just don't know right now. I'm just going to see once I get back in the mood. Also, me and the Great Library is doing live streams on the Great Library YouTube/podcast. So if you're not subscribed to Mary Brown's channel, what you're waiting for is subscribe to his channel as well. What's this? My best 40 times was a 4.6. Not bad for an offensive lineman. Okay, that's cool.
If your best 40 time is a 4.6 as an offensive lineman, you'll be in NFL right now without question.
Yeah, but you didn't stay with it. That's the problem, Ed.
Like, if that's... Let me put it to you this way. You're damn near up there with mid-tier running backs. So I'm a little shaky on that one.
20.
But I'm back. But the point I was making about the 100-meter dash, that if FloJo was still with us because she passed some years ago, if she had to compete in the men's division of track and field, especially in the 100-meter dash, she wouldn't even qualify. You can't qualify in the final heat of the Olympics or the Worlds unless you have a sub 10 second fucking 100-meter dash. Do you know how much the average man weighs?
175 pounds.
About the average American male is about 194.5 pounds.
Oh,
Do you know how much the average man can bench press?
135 pounds,
Yep.
which is not even weightlifting.
Untrained, because the average person is untrained. The
Mm-hmm.
average woman is about 5'4", 160 pounds, 160, 170 pounds in America, which is a damn shame because you have too many women who weigh as much as men back in World War II. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You weigh as much as men did 80 years ago.
22.99.
Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't see that. 2206 North Charles Street has another.
Well, I'm back.
All right.
The average woman can bench press 70 pounds.
Okay.
We're not talking athletes, we're just talking normal.
Mm-hmm.
So why do women, and I won't even say it's because of women, why does this feminist ideology want to put women in the same realm as men? Like, I don't want to be a woman. And there's nothing wrong, for women who are naturally women being women. But there are certain disadvantages and advantages both sexes hold. Like I stated before, we're not equals, we're complementary.
Yeah.
Think about it. Here's another study, right?
Yep.
How boys and girls learn differently. Does your son fidgets and wiggles while he's checking out at school? Don't worry, he's perfectly normal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll even paraphrase some of this. Declarations like "I like recess" and "PT is best" from young boys about their school experiences sometimes raise concerns for parents. But according to Michael Gurun, co-founder of the Educational Research and Training Gurun Institute and author of The Minds of Boys, Saving Our Sons from Falling Behind in School and Life, they shouldn't. Parents should actually take these words as a clue about how their children learn. What they are saying, says Gurn, if you want me to learn, you have to understand my brain and body and how they work. See, this is another reason why there's no such thing as equality. Your brain does not respond to stimuli the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Here's another part of the article, another paragraph. Boys' brains, girls' brains. Study shows that, remember how they try to say there's no difference in the first article I read?
Mm-hmm.
That's why, what's the one thing I always tell people to do? Cross-reference your information.
Cross-reference.
Challenge the information you have. Get 10 articles of the same subject matter. Cross-reference them all, see if they all check out, or if there's a difference among the subject. Just like when the lady in the video yesterday on the show said that, oh, these babies are coming out weird because of the male sperm. There's
Stupid
little
shit.
to no degradation to male sperm. Sorry.
Yeah. And it can't be. Now, different race of men, yeah, they might have a hard time because, as we know, Charles, The only person that is still able to fruitfully multiply without much problem, regardless of the environment, it's a black man.
And that's been found scientifically true because you can find every genotype in the fucking world through black DNA.
Yeah. But it is natural because think about it. We are the first, both black men and black women. So whatever happens to all other parasites, if they die off, as mostly black people going to still remain. You get rid of black people, that's the end of civilization or the human species. And they know this.
We're the blueprint. Why do you think they still?
You can't replace it through machinery and all that stuff.
Security guards with.
Why do you think that so many times we suffer from organ harvesting from black kids?
Mm-hmm. Get them young and early. 19, actually, 13 and up.
Yep.
Especially if they're the teenagers. That's the perfect time to get them. Because they're not all chemically induced. You're getting the best pot of the litter.
Yep, and they're adult sized. Here's an interesting breed right here. Studies show that boys learn differently than girls. Duh.
Yeah, duh.
Brain scans tell parts. Brain scans tell the part of the story. In general, more areas of the girl's brain, including cerebral cortex, responsible for memory, attention, thought, and language, are dedicated to verbal functions. The hippocampus, a region of the brain critical to verbal memory storage, develops earlier for girls and is larger in women than men. That has a profound effect on vocabulary and writing, Guerin says. Remember that. What did they say? Women use about 2,000 to 3,000 more words than us?
Yeah, because they have to communicate with the child.
And also their feelings.
Yeah.
Because women try to communicate feeling and it's hard to describe an emotion. In boys, a greater part of the cerebral cortex is dedicated to the spatula and mechanical functioning. So boys tend to learn better with, what did I say yesterday? With movement, pictures, rather than just words. If the teachers let the boys draw a picture or storyboard before sitting down to write, he says they'll actually be able to access more color and other details about what they are writing. They can also access more information. So that's a form of what, folks? It's a form of kinesiology. Excuse me. So, when we actually know kinesthesis or tactile learning. So, when you actually have this learning difference between boys and girls, especially when they're auditory, and verbal learners, why do we teach boys and girls the same? That's a good question, right, Chaos?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah. But nobody, please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah, and donate to the stream.
And don't forget to donate because you're getting the learning lesson today.
Exactly.
And this is the reason why it's always been a plan against boys, specifically black boys, to underachieve because school is not designed for your boys to learn.
Yeah. And not boys, but just any boy in general. But for the sake of conversation, we black, we only focus on ourselves first for everybody else because we're the least. There's no way this society structures actual learning to get the best out of boys unless you move like a girl.
And I want you to hear this part too. There are also biochemical differences. Boys have less serotonin and oxytocin, that hormones that play a significant role in promoting a sense of calm, than girls. That's why it's more likely that a young boy will fidget and act impulsively. Teachers think the boy who can't sit down and be still and is wiggling in his chair and making noise is being defiant. Does that sound like the average inner city boy?
Yep.
And what's the first damn thing they do to that boy? They try
They
to
go
medicate him.
automatically, bro.
But here it is, right?
Mhm.
These educational professionals know this bullshit and will still tell the mothers that your child needs Ritalin instead of
It's
actually
all,
being a fucking teacher.
but is really the idea is to do some, but not do no work at all. And say, may us drug your child to get them to stay still so they can get miseducated. Because we're not teaching anything anyway. We're not preparing them for life. We're not even giving them the basics. They're not reading at level. And they talk about comprehension of the school system. You know?
Hmm.
As I tell people many times, the reason why our boys are behind is because we don't control our own school systems, man. It's just the downright awful truth. Because think about this, and I got a book, bro, and I might just do a short series on it with Carter G. Woodson, and it's titled, if I can find it, what's it called? The Education of the Negro.
The
Prior
miseducation
to
of the miseducation of the Negro.
no, not miseducation. The education of the
Okay.
Negro prior to 1861. This book was
Okay.
written first before the what they call it the matter of fact, I think the Miseducated Negro was the last book he wrote before he
Yep.
died, and it was
And
good. It's a good read, and the reason why he wrote the Miseducation because he know the future of black people is very much uncertain,
excuse me. Go ahead.
very much uncertain. So he goes into history before the end of physical slavery. What was black people doing? And let's go deeper. He also, in that same book, and I know, and when I read it, that he goes in what was the Negro doing during after enslavement. Did you know black people had a high reading comprehension and was
Yeah.
able to read and do everything within less than 3 decades after enslavement?
Yeah.
So there's
Well,
no
you got to
excuse
think
that we
about it.
can't.
How
Yeah,
many inventions did slaves create alone?
thousands.
And this is under the threat of death if you record reading.
Yeah,
But you can't get a nigga to read a fucking newspaper today.
yeah.
Oh boy, I tell you. And not only does Ritalin fuck you up mentally, Aqua Dragon, it also fucks you up physically. Because a lot of kids who were hooked on Ritalin early, which is nothing but a molecule away from speed.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Heroin.
I like the quote Dr. Umar Johnson. It's funny how their fathers would get locked up for selling this shit, but they would legally give it to the kids in school. And then they come out sterile. They have growth issues, like they stunt their growth. It's fucked
Yep.
up what this shit does to kids.
Yeah, it's very
But yet,
deadly.
they were giving this shit out to kids. I'm not even gonna tell you the difference of men and women when it comes to testosterone production. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
In men, testosterone is the principally produced in the testes, 95%, with a lesser amount produced in the adrenal gland, 5%. The hormone's production in men is much higher than women, 20 times higher than women. Okay?
Yeah.
See, the testosterone production in women, on the other hand, mainly occur in the ovaries as well as the adrenal gland. So, what you got to realize, most of this hormone in women actually gets converted into estrogen. It gets converted into estrogen. Here's the telltale signs.
Mm-hmm.
In males, testosterone drives pubertal change, like facial hair and hair growth. In adults, it's most important related to sexuality, such as regulating libido and sperm production, as well as other functions like preserving bone density and muscle. In women, it's associated with maintaining libido, vaginal lubrication, as well as regulating mood, memory, promoting health of the reproductive tract, bone, skin, and stimulating red blood cells. This is what happens when you have an imbalance. Male testosterone imbalance is significant enough to produce symptoms is typically due to low testosterone levels rather than high. It may
Mm-hmm.
negatively affect their sexual functions, body fat, muscle tone, mood, and much more. High testosterone among women is most commonly caused by polycyclic, what is this? Uh, Polycystic ovary syndrome. I'll learn how to say that word properly later.
Mm-hmm.
The leading cause of infertility, as well as excess muscle growth, weight gain, and irregular periods. Low testosterone, on the other hand, might increase the osteoporosis, like I talked about. I actually couldn't pronounce that very well. Fatigue and low libido. And for those of you who don't know what osteoporosis is, it's basically a bone disease that makes your bones almost brittle. It takes away from the bone density. So, in other words, are men and women still physically equal? Why do you try to teach us the fucking same? See, I even got one more article, man, that I'm gonna read tonight. I might save some for later.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The 11 Ways Men and Women Think Differently. Number one, perception. Women have smaller brains that are more tightly packed with connections. This allows them to perform better at tasks involving the bigger picture and situational awareness, situational thinking. A man's brain tends to perform better at sporadic thinking involving recognizing patterns and problem solving with objectives in a sporadic environment, which means we make better hunters. We don't
Yeah.
think, in other words, how many times have I said it? Men think legacy, which is big picture. Women think nest, which is the smaller group picture. So, but I forgot, Chaos. We don't do research over here, right?
Nah, man. Some people say they read one article and then that's it, and then said, "Yo, that's all you need." And I said, "Look, it's new research. Okay, how many of that same research that you complain you bring up has more than 10 links of the same information?" I'll wait. But you see, this is the problem when you listen to a lot of people that gives you some information and said, "Now this is fact." We don't go by theory. In fact, we go by actual information that's already here that has not changed, especially when it
Yep.
comes to women and the risk of high pregnancy. No one say you can't still get knocked up after 35, but you put yourself at a higher risk. And here's the funny thing: all this, bro. How do women ignore about the infertility, what do you call it? What do you call the
Infidelity and infertility,
immorality rate? What do you call death rate
infant
of
morality.
women? Yes, immorality rate of women once they start giving birth around their 30s. Why that went over a lot of black women, especially women that as much time black men don't like to call it feminist thinking.
Because we're not supposed to tell them anything. We're not supposed to be logical.
Nope.
We're not supposed to be smart. You're supposed to take everything they say as gospel. And let me continue. Number two, one track mind. Men tend to excel better at singular tasks while women are better at juggling a number of tasks at once. This may stem from the primordial male role of the hunter who is fixated on a singular object while females traditional the manager of the home and force her to juggle many tasks simultaneously. Hmm. Oh Lord, you better not tell the feminists this shit. Number three, social interaction. Women tend to perform better at social situations than men do. Men tend to excel at more abstract thinking and task oriented jobs. Again, this may stem from the traditional gender roles whereby women had to work together to accomplish a more complex task while men spent more time alone stalking prey. Remember, you got to hardwire the brain. The brain is hardwired a certain way for men and women.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Aqua?
Woo, what's up, Charles?
How you doing, Aqua?
I'm chilling.
Not much. Hey, Charles, real quick. So what's some of the other damages that Ritalin cause?
Uh, you become infertile. It stunts your growth. It makes you more manic. It makes you depressed. It also makes you what's the word I'm looking for? It makes you neurotic.
Okay.
And this is shit they were giving children for years, and they still do.
You know, and I also heard it also caused brain damage too.
Oh yeah, because it causes brain damage and cancer of the blood.
You know what? I'm going to confess this. I don't give a fuck. When I was younger, I was on Ritalin for like 5 years,
Yeah.
and then now I notice certain things in my personal life behavior is because I was on fucking Ritalin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when if we never talked about this, a lot of people would never know, and they'd be like, they think it's them.
You want to know how I found out? It was back in 2009. I was working at this restaurant, and this host was like, her teacher told her that her daughter was low height and put on medicine. She was like, I'm not putting on Ritalin. I'm like, well, what's wrong with Ritalin? Because Ritalin does X, Y, Z. It fucks you up. That's when I found out. And I did more research on it. I'm like, oh, so that's why I understood certain things in my personal life. I'm like, fuck.
You gotta think about it. How they kill the black community
Mm-hmm.
For drugs.
with drugs.
Yes.
They lick at you.
Yes.
They lick at you up for years. They gave you heroin. Then they dumped crack by the fucking payload, and then they gave you Ritalin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's funny because when I tell this shit, and people get mad with me when I actually get an educational broadcast, but if I'm beefing with something, usually I could get around 20 to 30, 40 people. If I'm beefing with somebody, but I'm giving somebody some education, I'm barely stretching 12. It's funny. And people don't give me because it's late, because motherfuckers stay up late.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, they do, Charles. You're right about that.
Let me see. What is number 4? Number 4, dealing with emotions. Women have a larger limbic system in their brains, which allow them to be more in touch and expressive about their emotions. Men tend to be a little oblivious with emotions that they are not explicitly verbalized. Men tend to be more logic in their thinking and discuss information that is not directly involved in the issue that they're tackling. Women tend to be more empathetic and susceptible to emotional influencing in their thinking. Why do you think they got the fall out the home?
Discipline.
Because right, the father is the logical side, and he keeps balance. And without balance, there is in no logic. It's all emotion. It causes ruck. It will cause dysfunction, and then the woman will have to take on both roles, and then they'll drive her crazy by doing the feminine and masculine side, and then next thing you know, she's fucking like dysfunctional herself.
Exactly. I'm going to read that sentence again. Women tend to be much more empathetic and susceptible to emotional influencing of their thinking. There's a reason why, a real reason why the single mother home was overly developed. You wonder why it wasn't a single father home, do you?
Damn.
Because no self-respecting father would allow his sons and his daughters to be on a corner without whipping their asses or putting some
Mm-hmm.
type of firm stance against it. See, the single mother home was a big contributor to the fact of drugs, violence, and juvenile delinquency due to being empathetic, due to the fact that the female wants to be the friend of the child or the compensator instead of the disciplinarian. And then when she
Mm-hmm.
resorts to discipline, what does the female typically do? She overcompensates, and she's either overly abusive or she's overly too loving and nurturing and neutering the boys.
Mm.
And I'm not saying that's all women and they're bad mothers. So yes, some mothers have to do what they had to do, but guess
Mm.
what? When you overcompensate by giving a child everything he wants, he will not have any sense of earning anything. He will not have any dedication to anything. He will not understand what perseverance means. Number 5, due to math, men tend to have larger inferior what is that? Parental lobes than women. This area of the brain is thought to be controlled mathematically and a ability to process it. Men tend to do better with math because of this. This isn't to say that there are not women that are not great with math, but men do have a small biological advantage when it comes to math and logic based skills. Dealing with pain, the oblongata, I can get that word very correctly. The
Medulla
oblongata.
oblongata. The
Yep,
medulla
the
oblongata.
oblongata. Yep.
Okay.
The oblongata is the area of the brain responsible for pain. Pain is activated in either the right men or the left hemisphere for women. The right side is more connected with the external stimuli, while the left is more connected with the internal stimuli. Women tend to feel pain more intensely than men do because of this. Why do you think men develop a system of walk it off? Because we literally physically had to what? Walk it off.
Mm-hmm.
Your ancestors didn't have an emergency room. So when he was out hunting, he had to learn how to deal with what? Pain. Learning languages. Women tend to be better at learning languages and are more attuned to words and sounds. Like I told you before, women use 2 to 3,000 more words than men on a daily basis. This may be why men tend to find it harder to express themselves verbally. It also may stem from the increased demand on women over millions of years to cooperate and organize in order to manage large, complex tasks. This is number 8 is the reason why you can't remember shit on your girls' birthdays or anniversaries. Number 8, women remember better. Oh my God. Yes, they do. Especially if you do something wrong. But women forget when they fuck up. Just saying. Women remember better. Women tend to have higher activity in the hippocampus, the region responsible for forming and storing memories, than men do. Studies have shown that women tend to remember faces, names, and objects and events better than men. Yeah, because men have a part of their brain that's called the just fuck it all. If it ain't important, just fuck it all. Asking for directions. Men tend to have better spiritual reasoning skills, and are better at remembering geographical details. They tend to have a better innate sense of direction and remember where areas and locations are. Jesus Christ, we know that's the goddamn truth. Oh man, I could share this shit. Mostly stems from their days as hunters when men had to navigate long distances without the aid of maps or compasses. Oh my god, that sounded like every girlfriend I had didn't know where the fuck she was going. Risk taking. Men tend to be more likely to take risks. Women tend to be more risk adverse. Men get a bigger dose of endorphins when they take risks. The bigger the risk, the larger the pleasure derived from the risky behavior. Men may be specialized to take more risks because of early humans' need to hunt down food, which may be larger and stronger and more dangerous than a single man. If I bring down this fucking lion, bitch, we fucking. That's what he said. That's what it was. Like, if I could kill this beast and bring it home for you to cook it, yeah, we fucking. Hunting is also inherently dangerous, as some predators may be stalking you while you are stalking another prey. So, in other words, we had to take risks. This is the reason why I do not understand the beta male culture of not taking risks. When you take a little bit of danger out of your son's lives, like your son should actually play combat sports and collision sports because they will know how to deal with adversity in life. If you take that away, you will nerf that boy's growth as a man. Because the first thing, I'll tell you the same thing that we were told as instructors in the academy. The first thing the instructors told you, how many of you have ever been in a physical fight? You do not want your physical altercation to be the first time you become a police officer in the streets of Baltimore. That is highly dangerous.
Very, very dangerous.
And number 11, sex. Uh-oh. Men tend to be more visual in what arouses them. Women tend to be more turned on by a combination of things like ambiance, emotion, scent, and visual perception. And who said you can't learn something at the Charles Faulkner Jr. channel? So, in other words, when you think about men's sexual desires and women saying, if he can't take me for who I am, then he got to deal with it. No, that doesn't work for men. That's just not how our brains operate. It's got to look good, girl. So I want you guys to fill in and give me your thoughts on what I was reading. And are men and women equals, or are we complementary? What are your guys' takes?
Well, the information, you're on point, bro. And it goes back again. The reason why our society thinks like this, because it's all for a greater agenda to divide and conquer people, especially people of the African descent, ADOS, especially. And all this was enacted during the end of the 60s. See, they know the potential of people and what the environment is going to be within a couple of decades. So what they do now is to subvert what is possibly to come. You have to divide people up. How you do that? You change people's roles and positions of what is masculine, what is feminine, roles what men do, what women do, and have them do things in crisscross, reverse. Because when you do this, now you know women are not going to rebel at all, Charles or Aqua. Women nest in this environment. They already do studies on this. Hell, if you remember when Nicole Ali did a live stream about her testing of mice, it is the same experiment done back in the 50s, the Skinner experiment. You get me?
Okay.
How can I get the best outcome by controlling certain parts of the environment? What people need: food, clothing, and shelter. So what happens if I control all three and manipulate how they get food, where is shelter, and food, clothing, shelter, and how they could purchase things for their own, stability. And we have to think like that. That this is with this type of thing. Now women believe that they have a place amongst men because they think they're better than men. They're equal to men. The sexist mindset is a doctrine that was instituted by them by their mothers, which their mothers got it from the system, particularly in the school system of higher education, mostly in college. And Charles, I never told you this. When I was listening to Zero End stream today, he read a timeline by Julius Nathan Harris of all the policies put in place up until the 1980. And one of them, it goes and breaks down every policy, what its role, what it's supposed to do, what outcome it does. I might drop that link for people to listen to, but it explains clearly how they're able to do this successfully. To now, what we find now that even women that come up or come around these spaces complain about when men tell you what is your actual role and you got to stay in your place as a woman. It's not something to be shameful. It is what it is. For you to do things a man's supposed to do, you are putting yourself at risk, health-wise, spiritually, and your mind when you start doing masculine things. Only thing I've never seen yet with these role change is that men have not developed wombs that start carrying children.
Trust me, they're working on it.
Oh no, they have it. They have it. It's just they're not going to draw it out in the mainstream yet. There's waiting till the whole society gets very much neutered. Then it's going to pull it out, push it to the society through commercials and stuff. But that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I got.
One of the biggest reasons why they're trying to neuter the boys is because your arms bearing years is between 16 and 45.
Yes, I agree with
the
that.
last time we had the most boys born in the United States was during the baby boomer era.
Yeah.
What did the baby boomers change? They pretty much changed America, especially during the civil rights time.
Mm-hmm.
So to prevent that type of change coming again, we're going to neuter the boys and give the women the power.
Yeah.
Because what did I just read? They're more in tune and susceptible to emotional control over their thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So when you actually take a study of this shit, I want you to go. Do you still have that video up of the Marine Corps captain, the white female?
It was on my other laptop. I had to pull it up if it's in my history, which I'll check right now.
Because this is the reason why I said men and women are not equal. Are there things that women specialize that are better? Yes. That are things that men specialize that are better? Yes. So when I had that Maria, whatever her fat face ass name was, called me a sexist, no, I'm listening to my biological imperative as a man and look out for the protection of women and children. You want the power and the authority of men without the accountability and responsibility of men. Can't have it that way. The world does not work as such.
I might go on your page to pull it back up.
Yeah.
And to add on to what you're saying, Charles, see, here's the thing, man. It's a reason that God made it that way. It's a reason. It's like you got a plug, you got an outlet, you got a yin and a yang. You dig what I'm saying? If you have two of the same thing, it's gonna cause friction. It's like a magnet, right? You got two north poles, two south poles. You try to make two of the same poles, what they do, they repel because they both the same. But you got one south, one north. You put them together, and they both come together like a magnet should. So so it ain't about like who's better, who's worse. Because even though we're not equal, it's about the balance. It's like
Mhm.
we do things they can do, they do things that we can't do. It's like pieces of the puzzle. I got my piece, I need your piece, put together as one big puzzle, man. That's all it's about.
Charles, you're gonna have
And
to get rid of that. That's blocking them.
yeah, so and in
All right.
nature,
That's where you get the term opposites attract.
exactly. That's how it works in nature. If you notice a couple, right, a real masculine man is with a real feminine woman, they get along like like most of the time, and they work and they flow well most of the time because they both do their duties, their gender duties, work together, and they just like a one well oiled machine because they understand each other's nature. That's all it is. Yeah, man.
But Chaos, go ahead and play the information of what the young cap. And I'm glad you're playing the video now because look at the facial expression what this chick is doing. Why? But go ahead, throw that beautiful Bing footage for the folks.
All right.
Hmm.
There's no sound.
Oh shit! Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if I can fix it.
We'll just rewind it a little bit and just boost the sound.
All right. Let me see. I'm on Firefox. There should be some sound. So you say you don't hear nothing at all?
Now,
Hear it now? Oh wait. Let me turn up one more
Sure.
time. All right, there we go. This should play now.
Still nothing.
Let me think. That's weird. Why is it not playing? Talk about this computer. So you don't hear nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, Aqua, you hear anything? Aqua?
No, I don't hear nothing.
All right, I have to jump out and see if this will correct it.
I'll go ahead, do your thing.
Okay. Because when I look at this stuff, I think they're robbing women of their femininity.
Yes.
When you look at it, they're robbing them of what actually matters and what actually benefits them is their femininity and their support. I've always said, raise your daughters to be a great and second in command. You're not like to put women in combat situations. It's not optimal. You're going to destroy military effectiveness.
Yeah.
So, just to prove a point, nobody's life should be thrown away just to prove a goddamn point.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask you this, Charles. Now, I hope it ain't a dumb question. I mean, because you've been in the military, you've been.
All right, go ahead. Say that again. You got cut off.
Let's see if this will work now. Can you hear that?
No. I can hear you, but not that.
Oh wow, this is amazing. Share the screen and see if it'll play. Oh, actually, let me. I had to do it. My fault. Wait, let me see if I use Chrome if you like to share audio with the screen. To screen share is easy with two monitors. Okay. All right.
Yeah. What was your question, Aqua?
All right. I'm gonna play it. See if it's the sound work.
Okay. Aqua, what was your question?
Do you tell me when you hear something?
Yeah, we heard a horn.
What?
We just heard a horn.
Oh.
No, that was from where I am.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
No.
I didn't have this problem yesterday on my other new laptop. Now this one's giving me headache now because no one can hear nothing.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that. This is new.
Oh no, Charles. I was asking you. You've been to war, right? We was in the army.
Yes.
So, women being in war is different than women being a police officer on a dangerous scene, correct?
It's similar, but it's apples and oranges.
Oh, okay, never mind. Because that's the case, then women shouldn't be on like in dangerous situations while on a police force, but they're in there all the time. So that's what I was asking.
I'll say my opinion for another show. There are some women who carry their weight. I will say that.
Yeah.
Is that the majority? No.
Oh, okay.
There are those who tend to be more protected. I'll just say
Gotcha.
that. I'll go in depth on another show.
Oh, okay.
I'll definitely go in depth about that shit.
I mean, shit. I figured the Baltimore City police women would be tough, just like the dudes.
You got some tough ones, and you got some who are not so tough, just like the guys. You got some who are tough, and you got some who are not so tough. So
Yeah.
Hell, if you got some female officers who will fight with you, if you're in a fight, they'll jump in it. You got some who won't even come out the car, just like some of the guys.
Okay.
You had a guy who was charged with cowardice twice, and somehow he made it up to the rank of lieutenant. I'm like, I'll be damned.
I wonder how he got that position.
The inquiring minds would love to know.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, man, while he come back, see women like China White, women like Kendra D, the Danica Marie, these women actually get it, man. You know what I'm saying? The stuff they say, the stuff they speak. And you notice, Charles, every time they're in our presence on these panels, it's a very pleasant presence to be around them. You know what I mean? It's like we actually like being around women like that. You know what I mean? They don't give us like a bad vibe. They don't give us that masculine, I'm independent vibe. You know what I mean? Because they will actually act accordingly, especially when they're on the panel with men. And by them doing that, they actually bring substance from a feminine standpoint, you know, to our panels. So like I said, go ahead.
Yeah, because you're not going to outman a man, just like we're not going to outwoman a woman. Even if you get somebody who's transgender, as wish as they may, as try as they might, they will know women that will bite. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen. No dude is going to bite. See, the only reason a lot of dudes will be attracted to that is because they're attracted to guys on a low-key level. You can't say that unless you just didn't know, unless you had all kinds of mythical surgeries, but you still are at the same level of like, yeah, that's not a woman.
Right.
You're not a woman. You're not going to have a menstrual cycle. You're not going to give birth. You're still, but you forsaking your masculinity and your duty. For what? For what? What do you gain out of it?
Some people really feel like they was born in the wrong body. No, I'm dead ass serious. Some people really feel that way.
Yeah. You know what we used to say about that?
What?
See, if I told you that I was Superman and I tied a bed sheet across my neck and jumped out of a window, what would you call me?
A dumb motherfucker.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
You would call me detached from reality, which is psychosis. See, the difference now is you get to live your life the way you want it, but don't force me to have to join your psychosis with you. Oh, I'm a woman. It's ma'am. That's not. Oh, what the hell was that?
We can hear it now.
Yeah, but
We can hear it now.
Can you hear? Can you hear it now?
Yep. You sure can.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So let me start from the beginning. Cause hold on.
And see, this is the part real quick that I don't get. Like, I don't think we should discriminate against anybody who's LGBT, but guess what? You don't have the right to make everybody else bow down to your psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
Can we play it, Charles? So to get out the way.
Go ahead.
Let me see if I can share the screen without kicking me off. It might. Chrome as a bug that can cause screen share to crash on Windows 10. That happens, but nah, I'm not gonna bother. I'm just gonna play the audio. I am not gonna reset. I don't need this shit kicking me off. All right, so y'all gonna hear the audio.
Is the audio playing now?
Yeah.
Oh, now no, we can't hear it right now.
All right. So I think I know what stream this is what it's doing. When I hit the cam mic, it starts to come on. Can you hear it now?
Yeah. Hold on. I heard it. It then it went quiet again. It's like when you started, I heard like the real beginning, and after that, it just went back to quiet.
Can you hear it now?
No. We'll try it again. Okay, like I hear noise, but I don't hear it clearly.
Sound like it's underwater.
Right? Yeah. There we go.
It's coming out now.
No.
Yeah, I think this is.
Yeah, because every time you play it, or if you do hear something like Charles said, it's like it's underwater.
It's definitely.
Hold on. I just heard something.
Yeah,
it came in clear, but then it went low again.
No, it's a laptop. It's not. That's why it's doing that. I have to play this on my phone. Let me start with this. It will not play on this laptop, so I gotta stop it. I think I know it's issue. I know why it's doing this. It's not. It's a laptop. This is not really structured for this. For some reason, it is start giving this problem now. When the StreamYard start doing these stupid updates and they don't work with Chrome, so now gotta do the old-fashioned way on my cell phone.
I'm physically fit.
Recently, Congress has mandated that all branches of the military review policies that restrict female members' service. The Marine Corps, that means integrating women into the infantry. This summer, several volunteers are the first women to train for the infantry and will join their brothers in arms this fall. But not everybody believes this latest step towards equal rights is a good idea, including a female Marine officer who has been on the front line. Joining me now is Captain
Equal rights. Yeah, okay.
Good morning. So before we talk about what may happen in the future, help me understand what women are allowed to do right now.
So there's numerous support roles that women have right now. There are certain restrictions also, and that's what Congress is kind of mandating that we look into. Fields like infantry or artillery or tanks are areas that females have not been allowed to participate in.
So there was this push in the last couple of years to let women do more, to technically be on the so-called front lines. Do you agree with it?
Well, there's really no front line anymore. This isn't conventional enemy. Females have definitely played a strong role in combat operations in a supporting capacity. My specific concern is opening up infantry for females.
Why?
It's definitely not a cost. The cost definitely outweighs the benefits. It's not going to help the individual, and it's not going to help the institution. We're a war-fighting institution, and combat readiness needs to be at the front and foremost when we make decisions like this. And I don't think that this change is going to benefit anybody.
But why not?
You notice how hard on she was going?
But it makes you want to say, wait, bitch, you're not even a soldier that's asking these questions.
Because they're trying to push it. They're trying to push this fucking agenda.
Yeah.
I keep telling y'all, these agendas are gonna get people killed. And I'm sorry. People can call me a sexist or whatever, but if I'm looking out for the benefit of women and children, which men are primarily supposed to do, I'll be happy with it. But when you have people who are not prepared to do a job in those roles, that's shameful. That's murderous.
All right, let me continue playing.
Understanding or a misconception outside of the Marine Corps that preventing women from taking on these roles possibly restricts our opportunities for promotion. In the Marine Corps, men and women are promoted at the same rate. So the other question then I present is longevity. Now we're talking about opening up opportunities for females, but my concern that I point out in the article is that there's these gender-specific medical concerns that are going to come with opening these fields that I'm not so sure we've really thought about. And on the backside of that, there's going to be a cost associated with these medical conditions. And are we ready to pay the price for that?
I guess that was my question about why you think that it's a bad idea, because you yourself,
You got feedback, Charles.
I mean, by all regards, you're a very high-achieving woman, not only in life, but in the military. And what you point out in this article is that you went through some of the rigorous training that the men did, and what happened to you?
I've faced a lot of weight loss, muscle atrophy. I also developed polycystic ovarian syndrome, which for me resulted in infertility. It's a type of combat environment these days that's very strenuous, and I was only doing a portion of what our infantry brothers do. I'm physically fit, definitely one of the top in the females for physical fitness. However, I degraded, and of course, I understand that every female is going to break down at a different rate, but our male counterparts are breaking down also, and I just think it's an unnecessary risk that we could be taking on.
So let me understand this. If, in fact, women are going to be on these so-called front lines, I know you say they don't really exist anymore, but just for terminology, on the front line, will it be their own personal choice to be allowed to try it out, or will they just be commanded to do that even if they don't want to?
This will be a blanket assignment.
Charles, meet your line.
Any female who joins the Marine Corps, private, as an enlisted side, or as a second lieutenant, as an officer, can be told to serve as an infantryman, and she will have to serve in that capacity.
All right, Captain Katie Petronio, a U.S. Marine Corps member of the U.S. Marine Corps, who has written an article, and I imagine you've taken some heat for it, for standing up for what you believe in, but we appreciate you being us today.
You could tell the feminist ideology that the reporter was trying to push, because these agendas is political. I'm almost tempted to have you play that Navy SEALs guys response, because this woman says she went through it. Did I not just read to you what happens to women when they're in high stressful situations? Their testosterone goes up, they become infertile, they lose weight, they start getting facial hair, they become men. There's no vacuum in nature. So you're putting her in a fucking predicament that she's losing weight, which means she's losing fat and muscle, which you cannot afford to lose if you're already 140, 150 pounds. And remember, this wasn't some chick off the street. This was a highly in shape Marine, an officer at that. And she said, no, you would destroy the effect of the combat effectiveness. See, you're no matter how you feel, it should never overweigh reality. Your feelings should never overweigh reality. Your beliefs should never dictate your reality. You got to look at reality as what it is and to tackle it therefore. Okay? You're trying to push an agenda that we are equal when I've given you Three places in the military, women excel even better than men: sniper, espionage, interrogation. How many times have I said that, Chaos?
You told a bunch of ladies on a panel with a few men a few months ago. Yes.
You said women are better snipers. I ain't know that.
Yeah, because they can hold the positions longer, because they're more flexible, and they have more dexterity.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
So if
See?
you have a smaller woman who can actually, there's a reason why women can carry babies longer than men, because their elbows are shaped that way. So
Right.
so if you got somebody who's flexible and all this, just like in the news report, women burn energy slower. So guess what? They have more endurance when it comes to energy. When it comes to energy, and the reason why is because they have more fat. That's the reason why women carry babies, because they have more fat. They don't burn as much because they have to give birth and actually give the nutrients off to that child. So they have a lot of physical advantages women don't even talk about. Espionage. If I put a pretty lady out there, what are all the guys going to do?
Look.
They're going to look, they're going to approach, and they're going to tell all their business to that pretty lady. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with interrogation. You get a female detective. Now you get a hard-nosed couple of guys who are detectives. You're going to try to hold, but you get a nice little motherly feeling detective. That guy's going to be at ease, and he's going to talk all his business to that woman. Same thing in military intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You're interrogating. But yet, the women didn't want to say anything about that.
No.
They didn't want to say shit about that. They didn't want to acknowledge the strength that I pointed out to them. No, we could do the same thing, just like Maria's fat ass. We could do combat. No, you can't. You will lose.
You know what? Check this out, Charles. Say if they did start to let women do combat. Somebody told me that it'll be protests all over the country, protesting against women being put on the front lines if they actually did that. You know what I mean?
Well,
Or
they want
if they
equal fights, equal rights.
Yeah,
Equal lefts, equal rights.
yeah. Yeah.
It's okay for the men to die, but how much skin you would have put in the game? Just like I told Cynthia G herself. How much sacrifice are you going to put? See, you're fine with saying that we can't fight white supremacy. How many of your sons are you going to bring to the table? How many of your kids you going to let die on their shields for freedom? So are you going to pick up the rifle? See, everybody can talk that is ready to get down with the get down, okay?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Everybody wants to be a lion until they got to do shit that lions do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can talk that shit. Not too many can walk that walk. See, when you actually build units, there was a Navy SEAL who said no. But then when you have females in these units, guess what's going to go up? All the sexual harassment claims.
Yeah, I keep dropping off. Yeah.
All the sexual harassment claims are going to go up. Because you got to be a tight-knit unit. You're going to be traveling. You're going to do frat boy type shit. You're going to make some obscene jokes what men do. But because you want to be in our spaces, it's no different than putting girls in the Boy Scouts.
Oh,
You already have Girl
that
Scouts.
pissed me off. That pissed me the fuck off, Joe.
Well, the boys get to do the fun shit, then tell them lazy bitches to start camping. Why the fuck you need to bother the boys? See, they always want to infiltrate it because every time you put a girl somewhere, it's a. Should I give them this game?
Go ahead, give it to us.
Every time you put a female in a male space, it's to tamp down the men.
Uh-huh.
is to control the men. Because think about it. Back in the 60s, you had to learn marksmanship, wrestling, boxing, stick fighting, judo, and other combative skills, and also survival skills to go through the Boy Scouts. Once you put the girls in there, the boys can't be boys anymore, can they? They got to tone down everything they do, right? Keep the game. Well, that is true, Mike. That is true. And they talking about that now. Hey, should we play what the Navy SEAL guy said?
Oh shit.
Yeah, we could do that. Let me see.
Because this is gonna be a good one.
Give me a second.
See, when you have the women put the same amount of sacrifice, because what they're doing is the sacrifice of the chicken versus the sacrifice of the bull or the pig. One gives up some skin and one just gives a part of themselves. It's not the same sacrifice.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find Navy SEAL.
Because you could talk, see, you got to remember what the environment is. Women can talk shit and all the feminist shit because they still got men protecting them.
Yeah.
Men don't beg for power. We take it.
All right, I might have to get it from Facebook again because I don't have it on that history.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, let me find it. Okay, so where is it? Maybe is this the one? It's like the one. All right, let me click on that. All right, now that I got that, let me go back to my cell phone. Find it.
See, the goddamn shame of it is that if women actually fought for the rights the way we had to fight.
One of our favorite guests here. Please welcome back to the show.
Hey, Mike, I want you to pay attention to this article too, to this video.
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, buddy. How you doing? Great. Good to see you. So, big topic today. And we put this out to the poll on smartersandiego.com. We'll talk about the results in just a second. But you called me. We talked about this. There was a lot going on in the news. We sat down. We had a chat. And then almost immediately, I mean, within hours of that, big announcement was made that women are going to be allowed to become Navy SEALs. So what we decided to do was just do a poll on smartersandiego.com and say, hey, should women be allowed to become Navy SEAls? And we got a lot of comments. A lot of people were saying a lot of different things. I wanted to bring you on today because you were a Navy SEAL, right? You know a little bit more than the rest of us do about how that organization works and whether or not this is something that makes sense. So from your perspective, should women be allowed to become Navy SEAls?
The short answer is no. It's a mistake. And there's a lot of reasons why it's a mistake. And the issue really right now is it's a political one. Okay. This is not about equality, although it's being flown under the banner of equality for a political end. And the question really needs to be, is this going to enhance combat effectiveness? What's this going to really do for the SEAL teams? Does this make sense? My answer is no. And I think if you were to poll the vast majority of Navy SEALs, they also would say no. Okay. There's a handful at the very top whose promotion is tied to politics, and so they say yes right now.
Gotcha. Now, there are some people who said on social media that, hey, if a woman can pass BUD/S, if they can get through, then they should be allowed to become a SEAL. What do you think about that?
Well, that sounds like a good idea. It seems innocuous enough. Hey, if they can do all of the same things, why shouldn't they? That's a fair point, but becoming a good Navy SEAL is more than just making it through BUD/S. And one of the challenges that I have is that the public sees BUD/S, basic underwater demolition, or SEAL teams, SEAL training, as that's what it takes to be a SEAL. That's just one component. And BUD/S is not just like the ultimate Tough Mudder or Spartan race. And if you make it through, you're a Navy SEAL. It's way more than that. It's not just making it through. There's lots of guys who make it through, and they're bad SEALs. They're not good teammates. They're not brothers. And that dynamic is extremely important. So it's not enough just to say, hey, is there a woman tough enough? There very well may be a woman tough enough. The question is that going to enhance the combat effectiveness of a platoon at the combat level?
And you don't think so?
I don't believe so.
Okay. What about, you said it's not about equality. Can you elaborate on that? What you mean? Sure. I know there's politics involved, obviously anything involved with government,
right.
And now the military, politics are involved. But specifically, what do you mean by this is an equality issue? Do you have proof of that?
Sure, well, absolutely. It exists already in the doctrine and the standards that we have today. Secretary of the Navy says, well, if a woman is strong enough to make it through, she should be able to do it. Well, how about this? How about if I'm 50 years old and I'm strong enough to make it through? Should I be able to do it? We have age limitations. So we're going to allow women in, and so we won't discriminate based on gender, but we'll continue to discriminate based on age. That's what he's saying. Unless it's going to open up to anybody now who's strong enough to make it through. However, it goes deeper than that. We already have inequality standards in the military. Men and women in the military are promoted in part on their physical readiness. So, for example, part of your promotion, part of your rating, and part of your advancement has to do with your physical readiness, how fast you could run, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, things like that. And there's a dissimilar standard. Men have to run 1.5 miles faster than a woman to get the same maximum score, to max out the PRT, or the Army, the PFA, things like that. This dissimilar standard exists across the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps. And so men and women are promoted in part based on physical readiness, and men are held to a higher standard than women. So if we really care about equality, why don't we just start right there with the very basics and make the same physical readiness test for both men and women? I mean, if I really want to be kind of a whip about it, I could go back and say, well, maybe I missed promotional opportunities because a woman scored higher on the test but did less push-ups than me.
Yeah. Do you think that BUD/S or the SEAL training is going to become easier? In other words, are they going to change some of the exercises or some of the standards to make it easier for a woman to potentially become SEAL?
The challenge right now is that nobody believes that the standard won't be lowered.
Nobody thinks that.
Correct. Except for the people at the top who have to answer for their jobs. And they swear that the standards won't be dropped. But nobody within the community believes that the standard is going to be maintained. Who I really feel bad for are those guys who are running training. The pressure on these young men who are incredible athletes, incredible SEALs, setting the example in the SEAL community and ushering in that next generation of SEALs, the pressure on them to answer for why a woman doesn't make it, I mean, that's who I really feel bad for in this. They are caught right in the crosshairs of this political fight.
Wow. Never even thought about that aspect of that dynamic of it. Rebecca, let's hear from a couple people on social media. We asked the question, we did the poll. Actually, let's talk about the poll first.
Yes.
Go ahead and give us the results of the poll.
The poll: should women be allowed to become Navy SEALs? 87% of people say no.
87% of people said 13% said yes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The third answer, who cares? No one said who cares.
Right.
It's a big deal.
Even still, so 87% say yes and 13% say no. I would even question, however, let's ask the public what they think. And yet they know nothing about the Navy SEAL teams or what it takes to be an effective combatant, right? Right. But anyway.
Yeah, well, that's 87% said no, they shouldn't be allowed to become Navy SEAls. What were some of the comments, Rebecca, that we got?
Well, we have Edward Valencia here. He says no as well. They'll put other SEALs in danger protecting them. Military men are very proud and would do just about anything to help or save a woman.
What do you think about that, Andrew? Is that true? Is that part of the problem that you have with it?
No, I think there's a certain brotherhood, there's a certain dynamic. One of the special traits about the unique aspects of it, anybody who's played a team sport knows when a team is firing on all cylinders, there's a special dynamic amongst team players. And nowhere in my life have I ever seen this epitomized in a greater way than in the SEAL teams. The brotherhood is incredible. And there's a special dynamic. There are things that are said and done behind closed doors in the same context of a brotherhood that is going to become inappropriate. Now you got to worry about sexual harassment and the way guys act around guys because now we're introducing women. It's going to fracture the dynamic. And that dynamic is one of the most special aspects about the SEAL teams and why they're so effective in accomplishing the mission that they did.
Is that part of your feeling on this? Is that hey, we've already got something that's working here. Where I come from, we say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right. Is that kind of your feeling on it as well?
Absolutely. We have arguably one of the most elite, most effective fighting forces in the history of mankind. And I'm not just singling out the SEAL teams here. There are other credible special forces units in the military as well that are sharing the same plight as the SEAL teams in this particular case. Why are we going to mess with that? One of the arguments is that women don't have the same advancement opportunity, because if a man goes to combat and he's in combat and he performs well and he gets a Bronze Star or a Silver Star or a Medal of Honor, in other words, he has the opportunity to die for his country, and he comes back a hero, he's then promoted, and that's the guy who's going to make general or admiral or something like that. Women don't have that same opportunity to die for their country or perform in a heroic manner that may allow them to advance in the same way. That's one argument. Okay, so if you really want to do that, then go ahead and why don't you go field an all-female special forces team?
I like that.
Why don't you go create an all-female team?
I like that.
Train, equip them, put all the same resources behind them, access to the same technology and the best of the equipment that our country has to offer, and create a special unit with all women, for example. But why are we going to go mess with this organization that has already proven itself time and time again in battle? Why are we going to mess with that?
Yeah, it's tough to say that makes. I love that as a solution, though, because then you're not just talking about one or two women who can make it through BUD/S. You can create a whole new standard, create a whole new purpose, a team that's designed for a certain type of missions.
Right.
You can really do something there that would make a lot of sense, and you would allow a lot more women to be a part of that.
Right.
I really like that as a solution.
I'll tell you what, man. You get all those women together, certain times of the year, man. Al Qaeda and ISIS would wish we didn't release those women again. Might have to cut that part out.
No, I think it's funny now because we're joking, at that point in time. I mean, what we're looking at here is looking at the dynamic, the difference between men and women. Obviously, there is one. At this point in time, women already play a very important role, don't they, in combat operations of even the SEAL teams?
Right, and maybe the public isn't aware of that, but women actually are already well employed in the SEAL community to the extent that it enhances combat effectiveness. For example, over in Iraq and Afghanistan, where we have a culturally sensitive culture, and we go on target and we detain men and women, and we just search them, make sure they don't have weapons or contraband or explosives or other things. We use women to search the other women so that we don't offend the male populace. That now here come our male soldiers groping. Obviously not groping, but touching these women to search them. So you bring in female detainee handlers, which just makes sense, right? And there are other cases and interviews and situations where women have demonstrated doing a better job than men. So women are already well employed within the SEAL community and other special forces units as well. So to suggest that women are not involved in the SEAL teams or don't have the same kind of opportunity to serve, deploy, and die for their country is simply not true.
Great stuff, man. Well, thank you so much for coming today and talking about this very controversial topic. I love your idea, and I hope that I hope someone's watching and pays attention to that, because that's a really, really good suggestion. Thanks so much for your time. All right, good to see you. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter.
Shout out to that former serviceman, the SEAL, who made that suggestion. It's the same suggestion as. It's almost reverse of what I say about the Girl Scouts. You already had a Girl Scouts. Why can't you have the women take them out camping? Why do you have to invade the boys' faces? Because it's to tamp them down. Notice how everyone who talked about it, what did the female Marine captain say? What did the Navy SEAL say? It's all about combat effectiveness. You trying to politicize and get some votes does not outweigh the lives that will be at risk. You're more trying to prove a point. Well, you could do it too, like some Rosie the Riveter shit. But when it gets down to get dirty and grimy, which all warfare does what? Get dirty and grimy.
It gets very messy.
And guess what? My boy Mike, he's been a cop just as long, if not a little bit longer than I have. But guess what? He'll tell you, police are like mechanics. You don't care how they work as long as they're effective. As long as they abide by the law and treat everybody fairly and they're effective. But guess what? When you have other people trying to push a narrative, not even discovering to see if it's safe, but trying to push a goddamn narrative, you're gonna get some poor, unfortunate people killed.
Yeah.
For the sake of what? Equality? You can't say women don't advance the same way. They get promoted more. They get promoted at the same rate in the military.
Yeah.
Think about this. Women make up what? 12% of the military. 88% of the military is male. So you're telling me, how the fuck do you still manage to promote these ladies at the same rate? And they're only 12%. Now you can see where these fucking agendas rely. It's not sensible, man.
Oh shit, you're right. Women are 14%.
Oh, they went to 14% out. That's not good.
So you telling me? Oh, trust me, I know my stats, don't I? Y'all should know me by now, huh?
Yeah.
I know my stats off the top of my fucking head. So how the fuck is it that you're 14%? Because sometimes they drop on and drop. So it's in between 12 and 14. But you're still promoted at the same rate. What's the excuse? So that means in order to promote you at the same rate, there's men who got to be left behind.
Yeah.
Think about it. Think about that shit. So where's the inequality? But yeah, you're so hard. See, it's like hearing a girl want to go to the football team and say, I want to play football because I can do it too. So she gets the same 250-pound linebacker laying her ass out on the field because of her hubris. Are you going to be capable? And I tell this to anybody. I don't care if you could do the job, just do the damn job well.
Right.
You want to be in combat? Sure. Sign your ass up to selective service. Well, what? They actually had that one time. They went around to different colleges and women were like, should men sign up for selective service? Sure, it's honorable. Should women? And they were like, so do you believe in equality? Of course. I'm a feminist. We believe in equality being equal to men. So should women sign up for selective service? They were like, what? They hit the Mrs. Garrett from the fucking Facts of Life. What?
Oh, Charles, check this out. Now I'm on Google right now, right? I just found out that women are allowed to join SEALs if they want to.
How many men fail? How many men fail pre-buds?
About 90%.
And this is pre-buds. This ain't the actual training. You're not even considered a SEAL after buds because you got what 6 months of buds, and then you have 6 more of operator training. Okay, you may get your trident, but you're not considered a full SEAL till after that.
Right.
And when you got to be on task, you got to be on task. And how many times have I been in a road march where the women ain't carrying their fucking rucksack? And then let's say you do have a woman who can make it off of her own perseverance, her own physical prowess, her own determination. You know what's so fucked up about it?
So what's that?
That she's always going to be questioned because of the sorry bunch of motherfuckers who went before her. It's like the three ladies who claimed to pass Ranger School, and an investigation was done. They forged the fucking scores for the bitches,
Oh shit! Yeah, 'cause I was on Google and I saw 3 women pass Ranger School. I'm like, how do you do that?
and end up the fucking scores were forged.
Ain't that a bitch?
I want you to Google how much is the average weight lost on Ranger School. Imagine some little 165-pound chick wanting to be running back, and she got to face a motherfucking guy like Ray Lewis or Brian Urlacher or Lawrence Taylor.
Hmm.
See, somebody actually took that song, Anything You Could Do, I Could Do Better, a little too literally.
Yeah.
How much weight do you lose on average from Ranger School? Somebody could Google that one for me.
Hold on. Right. Wait. You lose from Ranger School.
Because people
Well,
forget
Ranger, you lose 10 to 20 pounds during the course.
So imagine if
Oh
you're
shit!
already one.
Oh shit! My fault, Charles. It's 20 to 30.
So imagine taking a 160-pound woman, and I'm being nice at 160. You think she's gonna carry a 100-pound rucksack at 130 pounds?
Nah.
Do you know how much muscle she would lose? And we're talking about somebody who, yeah, if you're in the military, you're probably gonna be, especially active duty, you're gonna have women in way better shape, a little bit more muscle tone.
Yeah.
And the average woman is like 140, 150. So you're talking about 110, 120. She can make it? The fuck out of here. And you still got to go through 3 fucking phases? Hold on, folks.
What do you think?
Say, am I there?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, we still here.
Sorry. I'm sorry. slipped away.
Out of 4, you ain't shit for that. Sir, you are not shit. He said the average black woman need to get the Ranger School. Yeah, just for the weight loss program, huh?
Oh, that's fucked up.
Wow. Never thought of that.
Well, they wouldn't make it out the first day because they don't like to take waters.
Yep. That's the weakness.
Unless it's by a white guy.
I'm about to say that.
Ooh. You see, you got to be a team player. Most women are not team players, man. Most women are not. Even with their friends, they're not team players. You ever notice women don't keep friends very long?
Really?
Like, guys can be friends for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Women, all they need is one thing. They don't talk to each other for 20, 30, 40, 50 years to one of them on their deathbed.
I see.
So think about it.
Excuse me.
How is it that you got plenty of guys on the manosphere who don't care for each other, but at some point they would work with each other?
I mean, yeah, to a degree. To a degree.
You got to think about it. If you had the right contacts and the greater good, men will work together.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I've said it all.
Yeah, especially if it's life or death and for the well being and lives of everybody. Yeah, we would definitely work together with that.
Yeah, definitely. I think I might keep the series going. What topic I should hit about men and women are equal next?
People should hit you up an email for that.
Oh yeah, hit me up on my email or Facebook Messenger if you want the series to go. If you have any ideas, we will talk about it. King of the late nights. Hey, we get to be raw. Better not bring your kids.
Yeah.
Shit. Because I think a lot of people love these topics. And think about this. I was once told, and Mike is gonna laugh about this shit too, if he's still listening, that I don't even do enough research for this shit. I gave you so many articles, so many professional opinions. If I'm giving you all this fucking work, Chaos is researching, I'm researching, Cerulean researching, Aqua researching. I mean, my guests who come on periodically research.
Yeah.
Why are we still doing the same dumb shit? Why don't we in all these cities say, you know what? These young black males are causing most crime, and we know statistically if you put male teachers in front of them and separate them from the girls and give them a trade and teach them differently from the girls, they will rise to the occasion. Like I've said it before, and I'll say it again, black girl magic only exists because of black boy mediocrity and obsolescence. That's why I keep telling you, they're going to tamp your boys down, and then guess what? When your boys are too effeminate to defend the country, you ain't got to go to war. They'll just march on here, and these soy boys are gonna just be like, you can take what you want, just don't hurt me. Take my wife.
Oh hell no.
That's how it is. Anytime you're teaching young boys to be the cooperative husband and not the one who brings home the bacon, not the one who's the leader, not the one who puts down the rules. No, responsible, the accountable one.
Yeah.
What country, what neighborhood, what community can you have without your protectors, without your leaders, without your problem solvers, without your procreators?
A very easily conquered neighborhood.
And you wonder why you have a drug dealer on every block. You're from Baltimore, Aqua. Do you think if we had a single father epidemic, we would have drug dealers?
Hell no, because someone said on a live stream, single fathers would do better than single mothers.
Statistically, it's true. Think about it. You wouldn't have an epidemic of fucking violence. You would have an epidemic of drive-by shootings. You would have an epidemic of drive-by ass whoopings. You would get a whole bunch of fathers and grandfathers in a drop top whooping your ass if you want a fucking corner. They're going to be called the leather belt clique. You know why? Because they don't play that shit. And they really tell you they love their sons. How many times I told you, Mike, the 3 things the black community don't give a fuck about? Black boys, education, being the heroes of your narrative. We care about education. Yeah, okay. What are the average degrees for black women?
Degrees.
Social work,
Yeah,
psychology,
social.
and nursing. With the exception of nursing. Actually, I would take nursing out and put communications.
Okay.
Nursing's on the inside looking in, on the outside looking in.
Now, Charles, you know these women got liberal arts degrees, man.
You know, liberal martial arts. and you know what's funny? If they actually gave a fuck about education, why aren't you even putting your girls through STEM? And this is how you can tell you don't give a fuck about your boys. Fuck the black men for a minute. How are your boys? You know what I'm gonna do when my live stream is over?
What's up?
Y'all really want to know?
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm gonna take a permanent marker and some fucking 4x6 cards and create vocabulary words for my son while studying for the oral for my second sergeant's exam.
Okay.
How many mothers do you hear say that?
Man, listen, bro. When last time these mothers even doing a job raising their boys? Now that we have this quarantine, they have no choice but to sit down and teach their sons.
And they know they hate it. They're miserable.
Listen,
I'm gonna tell you what, black men. Y'all don't mind if I put some game out there?
Yeah,
go ahead. She give it to us.
Give me a woo if you really want to make some money doing this quarantine shit.
Woo!
Give me a woo in the goddamn chat if you want me to tell you how to make some money. Because I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna get my woos and my likes and donations up in this motherfucker. Because I'm gonna school y'all and give y'all some game. This is how you can make money quarantining. A lot of these chicks don't even want to watch their kids.
Yep.
Make sure you have a clean record. Nothing in your record. And offer to tutor their kids. I don't know why black men can't make money off of black women. Because they don't even want to be around their kids. Offer to take their kids to the park. We're not talking about none of these pedophile motherfuckers. We're talking about people with clean records and good heads on their shoulders. But guess what? They're gonna be looking for black men. Can you teach my son go to football with my son? I'll pay you. Can you teach him computer science? I'll pay you. Can you teach him martial arts? I'll pay you.
Yeah.
Can you teach him how to fucking fix a car or sing? I'll pay you. Think about it. You're supposed to be the first teacher, and you're too goddamn lazy to teach your own kids. Yep, daycare center. Raise them right.
Okay.
All right. I don't even call it a daycare center. A rites of passage center. Now, oh my goodness, you're fucking Eureka. I just thought about my next show. What are the rites of passage for young black boys in America?
Excellent. Y'all ladies better tune in. That one.
I'm hoping y'all better get some of these chicks up. I'm looking for the smoke. I had a female once tell me, "You don't want this smoke, bitch. I smoke cigars." So shut up or roll up. Which one is it?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna tell you, what the fuck? You can't tell me that you fucking love your sons if you don't even have a rites of passage for them.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what the rites of passage for fucking black females
Yep.
is to be a fucking curmudgeon.
Mm-hmm. Don't be a dot. Oh, too late.
You can think about this. You're taught how to twerk. You're taught how to abuse the system. You're taught how to get child support. You're taught how to bullshit your way through college. And you're taught how to bullshit your way through work. Does that sound like the rites of passage?
No.
Women? See, we gonna be dealing with some thinking black. I'm gonna test this thinking black man shit. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because all these motherfuckers who told me the Gray Faulkner Initiative wasn't the shit, bring them.
Mm-hmm.
Bring them. That is one of the most comprehensive. Mike knows who's my coworker. I don't even got to say her name because we don't snitch. Tall, light-skinned shorty. Mike knows who it is. Out of 53 pages, she only read 3 so far. But guess what? I hate to say it. My man Mike said there are so many reasons why young black boys are on the corner. One is being because their mother isn't putting food on the table. Facts. Not only that, is because boys, I keep telling y'all before I finish my statement. One statement you will hear me reference all the time. There is no vacuum in nature. Why do you think? Did I not read to you what happens when your testosterone levels goes up if you're a woman? You become infertile, you lose all that shit. And what happened? What did that Marine captain said happened to her? She was losing her menstrual cycle. She was turning into a man. She was getting sick. But I'm gonna say this. It's not even just because of that. That's part of it. Another part is because when you don't have a father figure at home, you're gonna search for one. Have you ever noticed every story with a hero, the hero always had a master who taught him? Who did Luke Skywalker have?
Darth Vader?
He had fucking
No.
He had Obi-Wan, then Yoda. Who did Spider-Man had? He had Uncle Ben. Who did Superman had? He had Jonathan Kent. Who did Daredevil have? He had Styx. Who did Lion-O from the Thundercats have? He had Jaga. Notice every hero's journey, the boy search for the master or the advisor to go. So guess what that boy is doing when he goes out there in the streets? He's going to join a gang because he wants to be accepted by other males, and it's also protection. It's called a goddamn hunting party.
Yeah.
Yeah, father will provide. Yeah. See,
you know, Charles, you just lay out something that a lot of women never pay attention to. That boys always lean towards some influence or to some other group of males.
It's the nature of a man.
They got
to go near boys.
Yeah, and now let's think about this. Let's go deeper. In this environment, this digital world we live in, what are these boys seeking now in the 21st century? Because back in the 90s, boys used to go on gangs, but it started
dying down around 2000. You know what they're seeking? You want me to be honest about that, Chaos?
Yes.
See, I'm going to break something down. Speaking of Star Wars, that's why the last movie tanked, because they were trying to push the agenda. There were female Jedi masters, but guess what? Did her story follow the hero's journey? No.
No, but
She was called a Mary Sue.
but think about this. Did Luke's what's his name? Frank Lucas control that?
You talking about
The one that the creator of
George Lucas.
George Lucas. No.
You have an echo over here.
So if you look at George Lucas' resume, he always start with a hero's journey. The people that run that, I know a woman wrote that. Come in, no man.
Yeah.
And it was a man that he poorly has not followed George Lucas' history.
Exactly. Matter of fact, I'll give you a woman with a I'll give you 2 movies with a woman lead. So in case the feminists come, I could debunk them like I always do. You ever heard of a lady called Sarah Connor from the Terminator? When the first Terminator movie come out, was she the female who was afraid for her life? But when you started to see her in Terminator 2, did you see the growth on how she had to become a survivor? She started from nothing and built her way up. Let's look at Wrigley from Aliens. She was an astronaut and a scientist. She had to become resourceful and build her way to that to defeat the alien. Take that, feminists. So that followed the hero's journey. Star Wars didn't. She was a Mary Sue. A Mary Sue was when you have a female character and the universe bends to the will to do whatever that character needs to do. There's no strife. There's no struggle. There's no rhyme and no reason. Everything just magically falls in her lap, her way.
And then if you say something about it, something wrong with you, or you're a misogynist, you're a sexist, you know what I'm saying? Or you just want to complain, all that.
No, let's go even further. There's a new word, and one dude called the Black of Wall Street said he called misandrous.
See, the problem with G.I. Jane is this.
New shit.
Do y'all want me to do this weekend? I'm gonna go rewatch the movie G.I. Jane. I'm gonna tell you everything that's fucked up about it.
Good.
You know, it's too bad we can't play it. I think that could we play it? I don't think that might be a strike. We could play on YouTube. If not, you know, I have my Twitch account.
I mean, if it's for we could play it if it's for educational purposes.
I mean, yeah. If it don't have no commercial, it's possible.
If it's for if you buy the movie, can't you play it?
Possibly, but I don't really buy things on YouTube like that.
Don't worry about it. I'll buy it. Because it was a good movie, but it was bullshit. And the reason why is because in reality, she wanted to be one of the guys. And you got to realize this. Do men follow women or women follow men?
Women follow men.
Even if you're a supervisor or you're put in certain positions, what happens? That woman who's a supervisor, she has to carry what? Masculine traits. She had to be taught by whom? And Mike knows what I'm talking about. There's a certain female who shall not be named. In order for her, when she got promoted, she had to be trained by male sergeants. The same male sergeant she didn't like. Shit comes full circle.
Yeah.
See, make sure we write that shit down. Because I'm going to do, what are the fucking rites of passage? And we're talking obvious pre-COVID. And fuck it, motherfuckers act like COVID doesn't exist anyway, so you probably still could do it. Just put mask and gloves on. Here's my shit. Are we even building institutions for young black boys to blossom, to grow? to let them know it's okay to be smart. You can be cool, you can be tough, you can be intellectual, you can be nerdy, all at the same damn time. You don't have to
Mhm.
commit a crime.
Mhm.
Oh
You
yeah,
don't have to be ashamed.
they got that initiative. It's by George Macon called the Urban Nerds Initiative. Check him out, Billy. He's got
Think about it.
up and running.
You got the urban nerds, you got the Gray Faulkner Initiative, you got so many damn initiatives, but yet these women don't even know how to raise their sons properly. Well, we got to really tell the answer. They don't want to. Mm. Especially for some black men, when you go through hell and high water to get your fucking kid, there is no price you would pay to get your kid to live with you. And because these bitches are just trying to siphon money from you, they think it's worth the money. But then they wonder why the kid wants nothing to do with that parent who was getting all this money, but not even put this kid through tutoring, through school, through nothing. I keep telling y'all, OnlyFans is their only rite of passage. Sure that.
Yeah.
Because we ain't getting away from this shit. I broke down the differences in body composition, strength difference, thinking pattern difference. I pretty much gave you a fucking men's and women's study in like 30 fucking minutes. But we don't do any research here, right? We're gonna talk about this Pride of Passage shit tomorrow or Saturday.
Yeah.
Because I might even I'm taking off Saturday. Fuck it. Try to do this shit as early as possible because we're gonna talk about this shit. Why can't all the weird? What happened to all the good men? You didn't raise them, bitch.
Exactly.
Well, also they were too nice for you. They were a little too nice. Yeah, all that little
You're
bullshit.
too nice. See, that's how you know you're used to abuse.
Yep.
When you say a motherfucker's too, how the fuck you see? You know what the next show after the rites of passage is gonna be?
What's that?
What's wrong with nice guys?
Yeah.
Well, for one,
no. Better yet. I'm gonna say it this way. Do you even comprehend what men are?
Good question.
Because when you listen to Kevin Samuels and shows like his, a lot of these women will tell you, he asks, why do you want a high tier man? Well, I want a high tier man to take care of the bills while I raise the kids. What do you offer him?
Besides pussy.
See, people don't understand the level of comprehension and fucking thinking that I'm on. And I'm not a braggart, but it's just I have to tell you how my brain works. I don't listen to what people say only. I also listen to what people fail to say. Because guess what?
What units do you have clear?
So guess what? When you have women failing to say, what do I offer a man? You wonder why that high tier man passed you by. Think about it. Yeah, Mike said it. As how many black men that are in child support, how come our black children are not in? How many times have we spoke about that on a one-on-one, Mike? How many fucking times? There is no fucking reason with the amount of money people are getting taken out of their checks every 2 weeks to a month that your child should not have a tutor at minimal tutoring at the height private school. Once again, notice in 4 years, nobody could debate me on that shit. You don't give a fuck about them. If education was a goddamn priority, you would see black women with pitchforks and torches saying, we need better schools for our boys because they're failing.
Mm-hmm.
There shouldn't be no reason a 14, 15-year-old boy is on a fucking corner of fucking North Avenue. And what street is that? And what is that? 28th, right? I forget what the street it is, right before you go to University of Baltimore. Almost every day, wiping windows.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. Every time I get off 83 right at that stop, you see this kid right there. One day I'm gonna talk to the kid, like, how old are you? Why are you out here so early? But it goes back to what Mike said. A lot of these bitches ain't putting food on the table. How is it that you fucking selling your stamps? Or you feeding some fucking dude that's not even a child's father, and he's getting the lion's share of the food. Don't touch his food.
Yeah. Don't touch his quality meat. Fuck that.
I'm gonna tell you. Shout out to BGS, because if you really want to hear something, listen to that Boyce Watkins rant on BGS Itmores. That Boyce Watkins, just type in BGS Boyce Watkins rant. That shit was one of his great. I mean, that was his Magnum Carta of ranting. I mean, he dug into Boyce Watkins. He dug into black mothers' asses. And he said it. We got a lot, as black men, we got shit with us, but at least we admit it. At least we making a fucking tried and true effort to overcome our fault.
I mean, we have no choice, but when our sisters especially come with the failure of the sons. And see, the problem with the blame game, we gotta be honest. If you want to end the blame, give the boys to the father. This would end all bullshit.
Not even just the boys, both the kids.
All right, even the girls, yeah. All right. I ain't gonna object to that. I agree.
Because statistically saying, every father that predominantly raises sons and daughters, they're successful.
Mm-hmm. You know why? You know why? Because it's shown proven fact that women do not have the capacity to discipline properly their children.
Like, tell
why and let me tell you something. Let me go deeper. Whipping is not a form of discipline. I'm sorry, ladies. If you think beat your child's ass as a form of discipline, you are sadly mistaken. That same beating from you is not no different from a discipline from a man. Period.
That's called frustration.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, let's go even deeper to that one.
Mm-hmm.
You're frustrated because your brain is not built to deal with those complex, single-minded tasks like I just read.
Mm-hmm.
So I beg to differ. But then you talk about, well, my baby father ain't shit. Your job as a mother was to give your children the best father possible. But let me ask you this question again. Were you looking for a husband, or were you looking for a baby, or were you looking for a fuck?
Keep it real.
What do you mean? You're judging. Somebody has to. Only God could judge me. Yes, he did. And he said you're a whore.
Bingo.
But people forget the verse that you should obey. You should have followed the laws of man just like you have followed the laws of God. People forget that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. He used my religious beliefs against me. I've been known to do that. Ask Mike. You don't want to debate me. You know what? He witnessed what happened. I'll just keep it as that. Not against him, but he saw me do it to two females, and it was ugly. They needed. It was like throw the damn towel. I'm sick and tired of this shit. Here it is. I go on show after show. How do you rate me? And how can I get a high tier man? You left your fucking husband for some bullshit, and you think a high tier man gonna want you? You delusional fucking chick. And this ain't hatred towards black women because it's far from it. It's just the fact that like sometimes you come out your fucking house and take your glasses off, you look a motherfucker in the eye, and be like, who raised you? Shameful. Fucking shameful. I tell you. Well, we're gonna be back in this motherfucker tomorrow, man. And we gonna talk about this shit. We gonna get it in like we always get it in. Like, share, subscribe, donate it if you're inclined. Woo! Any last words, Aqua? Hey, Aqua, you still there?
Yeah, for some reason my internet just stopped working for some. I heard that.
No, damn. Any last words, Chaos?
My last words to all the beautiful black people out there. Class was in session. You're dismissed. Let's Chaos.
Woo! And we out.
I know that